So if you wanted to know a little bit more about the Codex, today I'm going to be showing you how we can actually get started. It's going to be really important, guys, that there's an actual free version, but I believe that the Gold Plus and the Pro version can help you to do much more than just the free version, so you might want to be taking that out. Still, let's try to understand a little bit more about the free version of the ChatGPT now new element of the, in this case, the Codex. So you can choose the actual surface and the actual initial setup. The actual code leaps across 4 distant surfaces like a terminal CLI and a DIA extension for the VS Code, a cloud platform inside the ChatGPT, and a dedicated standalone desktop application. For beginners, you can always start with the standalone Codex application. So it gives you the cleanest visual control over files, tree, and agent permission. Now you can continue with your ChatGPT application authentication code. Once again, the free version is really limited, so you might want to be taking that in mind in order for selecting the actual code indexed. So in this case, it will be asking you to make the phone number required. So what you want to do is to select the actual phone number that we currently have in order to continue. And we are now going to be inside the actual new element of the Codex. As you can see here, it is connected. Now we can configure some core access mode. You can look up the top status bar into the Codex elements. Make sure that we have selected this element. Usually it's going to be changing us, of course, into the actual chat new elements. You can check out, of course, the actual access for the initial setup. You can toggle the thread to the chat read only, and this allows, for example, to work in a very easy way. You have now the reasoning mode. We can go for the extra high. We can change the 5.5 for the 5.4.mini. We'll focus for the element that says element. For example, remember when we talk about this specific document .xt, and you can even, for example, improve for me or even given the Codex to have the full access directly into the actual Codex. Into the right section, or in this case the left section, we currently have, for example, more stuff that you already know. For example, the chat history has the new chat section, all the plugins that can be available, that can Codex actually will be working on. For example, we can work along with GitHub, we can go along with an actual Chrome extension, a computer used for your Windows application. We have the GitHub, we have the actively Apollo, and so much more. And we have now the automations. Automation can be helping you, of course, to, let's say, for example, some run a specific task without having to use a lot of tools. And lastly, we have the actual project that can be helping you to even start from scratch, or to even choose the element that says go for an actual specific folder. So we can, for example, if you wanted to go for different chats we're speaking about in a specific subject or in a specific run, we can just generate an actual new project and put that information directly all inside in here, so we can be all working on into the same specific space. We can even view some automation temps, so you can see how we can actually start, for example, summarize some failures and flaky tests from the specific windows, or suggest some swap files, summarize yesterday's get activity for stand up. We can do something else, for example, to before tagging, verify the change log, and the actual templates are moving on and on and on. So architect the AML with the agent MD, for example. We can, of course, check out every single time code spins off a text thread inside the project workspace. It accounts for the actual files, the thread through formatting limits as a non-negotiable directive, and execute itself correction loop until the code perfectly matches the standards. So the core workflow that I can be telling you is to plan, to do, to check, and diff, right? So the true agent workflow in action. Never prompt codec with broad unguided tasks like fix my backend bugs. Unguided, instead enforce strict plan, for example, plan then execute an actual loop. Even I can start with an actual new chat, and let's say, for example, let's get started. You can generate, for example, more different kind of tools and more different kind of execution type. For example, into the right section we have the different artifact outputs, we have all the sources, and down here, for example, we can enable the element that says ask for approval in order to, let's say, for example, setting up like the mood of what you're actually aiming for. And then with all of this information, basically what we wanted to do is to make sure that we have the actual right information and we have the actual right tools to get started with all the actual prompting. Once you transition from the training AI like the simple text box to managing it like an autonomous engineering asset, your overall development leverage triples. So you focus completely on architecture while the actual coding, for example, handles the structural implementation grid. You can know a little bit more about the features that the actual coded has to offer to us. But just in case you have any specific question, you can let me know into the comments below. I think that like a research assistant, the actual ChatGPT Codex doesn't really work. For example, using all of this, for example, all of these tabs that I have open to investigate more different orders, like think of it as all the tools that you currently do as yourself into just one computer, but you can even use the ChatGPT assistant to do all of this element for you, and you don't have to, let's say for example, take your time to check out all of these specific tools. So the actual Codex is what is actually be working on to help you work with all your daily tools and tasks that are for more than just one people. So guys, if you have any questions, you can let me know in the comments below. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you want to see more great tools like this, thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And hopefully with all this being said, we can all see you all next time.